This time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Ready!
The drive will start with an option going left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Here's Cook again. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Willis's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Cook up the gut. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here we go!
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready, check! Nothing, 19! Ready.
2nd down, here's Willis. And complete, right side to Cook. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Hold the ready.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Willis going to try to run it, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Malik Willis His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 19-yard line. To throw is Mariota. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, Mariota. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Mariota. He's got his man London right side. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. That goes for 15 yards on the fake, a 1st down. And a lot of fist pumps right now on that sideline. They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson, taken down at the 42. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The Falcons at 500, sitting at 5-5. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That was Patrick Peterson from his cornerback spot whirling in for the sack. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the year before.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Check.
On 4th down, here's the option. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away. Let your defense take over with better field position.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
One.
On 2nd and 12, Mariota. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
One. 3.
Throwing is Mariota. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it in.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. To throw Mariota. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw, here's Willis. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 22-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Willis. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go now.
They'll run with Cook. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Willis going to try to run it. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Malik Willis, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
One.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Three. One.
Now Mariota. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, Charles, it's so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Okay, ready? Stop low, 18. Go.
Last play of the half, Willis. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Mariota now. Got his man. It's London. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. They'll run with Patterson. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Algier is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now fourth and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
Check pass, check pass. Check. Ready.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
18 yards the gain for number 18.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point of attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Willis is going to throw once more. Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Willis with another keeper.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. Finding room at midfield.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing, Mariota. And that'll be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd down, to Patterson.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
1, 3. One.
Mariota.
That's going to be caught by Pitts.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
1.
Mariota.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you...
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Vikings are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Willis now off of play action.
Dancing to his left.
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free.
And the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Now Willis to throw.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Willis with another keeper.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
And Willis keeping it himself on the option.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
They'll try to run with Patterson.
And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Here's Mariota.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they work this out past the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now. First and 10.
First and 10, it's Willis.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here we go. Here we go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Willis will look to pass again here.
That's going to be caught. And he'll be out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continued.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there. There to make the grab.
And the Vikings drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Vikings come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.
Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon, because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers.